Shane and Joe here. Shane's behind the camera right now. Today we're going to be looking at overstable approach discs. So what we're going to do, I'm going to throw the forehand line, Shane's going to throw the backhand, and we're going to look at overstable approaches from all of the kind of big companies. So starting off here, we have the AxiarX3, we have the Toro, Discraft, we got the Zone and the Z line. We then have a tournament harp from Latitude, the Culprit from DD, Innova Tactic from Discmania, Kevin Jones's Distortion, so I guess Prodigy in that sense. We have the Runaway from Streamline, or the kind of the MVP trilogy. We have the Jarn from Kastaplast, and then also the Bullsnake from Lone Star. So notice we will not be doing any of the thumb track discs that we've seen due to the other video. So let's just get into it. All right, so before I get to reviews, I just want to say we're going to compare everything to the Zone here, just because it's probably one of the most popular approaches and everyone, or typically a lot of people have thrown this. So if this is the baseline, what I'll say is I don't mind the Zone. I do not like the Z-line plastic. It's just a little bit too tough for me, but ESP, awesome. Okay. So with that though, I do want to talk about the AxiarX3. I could definitely throw this in the bag, very similar to the Zone itself, but in the star plastic, similar to that ESP, definitely could throw this. Toro, I have thrown this in the bag. I do like it more overstable than the Zone, I would say. And so overall, definitely could bag this. Harp, again, coming at it from the forehand perspective, these are a little bit deep in my opinion. They got the high shoulder, but I can definitely throw these as well. Certainly don't mind it. The Culprit, not sure what to say about this. I definitely could learn to throw it. Personally, in this hybrid plastic, I'm not a particular fan of, as I like something a little bit more rigid, and this is just kind of that malleable plastic. Okay. Innova Tactic, basically the same disc as the Culprit, so again, a little bit too malleable. I do throw an XO hard tactic, and that's been my approach for the last 2 years. Okay. Distortion, another one that kind of surprised me. I like this, especially, so for those that haven't thrown this yet, the Distortion, kind of very similar to the Zone bottom, but it has that high shoulder, so it does remind me of the Harp. I would say, could definitely learn to like this disc if I were to give it more of a chance. So Runway, just got lucky that it stuck. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about it. I do like the plastic feel. Throwable, definitely could use for backhand and forehands, but as far as comparing it to a Zone, it just feels more of that mid-range, that 5-speed than something as an approach. Jarn, or however you say this, from Kastaplast, I think I might bag this for the next month and really see how I like it. It's more stable than the Zone. It has a little bit more rounded top, again, kind of giving more of that mid-range sort of feel to it. But this K1 plastic, I like it. And then lastly, the Bullsnake I want to talk about, just because this thing's unique. It's also very deep. It is in the Victor plastic, so it is malleable. I would not throw this for forehand upshots, only backhand, just simply for the feel. So that's my kind of synopsis.
All right, as Joe said, baseline is Zone. So I've never been a big fan of the Zone. I can't really throw them. There's something with just the feel, hand feel, but that's the beauty of having so many of them, is you can choose. So baseline to zone, AVRX3. I am the same way as Joe. I don't throw a lot of Innova. I have in the past. I love this thing. It feels good in the hand. The plastic is phenomenal. I feel like it's going to be a good forehand and backhand. I haven't thrown it forehand yet, but I'll give it a try. And it still feels like a putter. So, love it. Toro, take it or leave it. It's not as stable as I was assuming it would be, or as people have been saying it was, but I mean, it's a good flying disc, but it's a zone of another name. Tactic, this is the Evolution Tactic. I bag a Tactic, I love the Tactic, and I love this plastic too. I just don't have one. This is Joe's. If he doesn't like it, I might steal it. The Culprit, I feel it's the same as the Tactic. This really might make my bag. I like it. I like the grippiness of this hybrid plastic, and I do like a little flex, but I'm a fluid flex plastic thrower. The Harp, I had them for a long time. They fit in that same realm as the zone for me. It's just a hand feel. They were a bit deep for me. Once I found the Tactic, this got pushed out of my bag. The Distortion, I like, and I could see liking it, but just for confusion's sake, I'm not going to put it in my bag because I think it reminds me a little bit too much of the Tactic. So I think it's just a lot of overlap, and I'm just going to question myself if I put this in my bag or I should throw this at the Tactic. Now the Streamline, this is surprising to me. It has a bevel. It feels very similar to an EMAC in my hand, and that's what I throw as my primary mid. I really like it. It has a bunch of stability. And both of us hit cage with it. He went in the cage, I hit the bottom of it. So I like this. I like it a lot. The Jarn doesn't stand out in any way, shape, or form to me. It kind of groups in with the rest of them. And then the Bullsnake, now this is very different. It is very deep, has a profile kind of similar to a Warden with a bead, but real angular, real deep. But it's stable. It has stability, so if you're looking for an overstable putter, this Lone Star Bullsnake is fantastic. I would never bag it, just too deep for me. I have little hands. Any of these you can choose. These are all super effective. They don't have any huge difference in flights. A couple of them, like the Jarn, the Distortion, they're more mids. They're more gonna push longer. You're gonna get a little more distance out of them, but they are still overstable. But choose them, pick them up, throw them. DoorDisc.com is where you can pick them up. And outside of that, keep it subpar. Peace.